Hey guys, it's Mike coming back with a Nationals recap and mail day video of stuff I've got while I was gone. What can I say? It was the best National I've been to, had a blast. I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. Seen some amazing pulls, amazing pickups. I literally only bought 2 cards while I was there, which is this is my 4th national. I think I've averaged 3 cards per national so far, and this year I only got 2. But I was given, oh goodness, 3 cards and a artwork from Garrett, which was just amazing. And I'll get to that. Just want to thank everybody for all the hospitality, the kindness. Just great guys. This community's grown so much, and there's so many good people in it. I got to meet a few new people. I wish there was another. I wish it went on for 2 weeks and I could get that much time off, because I could have easily stayed there. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I had to leave Saturday morning, so I missed some of the guys that came in on the weekend. Hopefully next year, Lord willing, I can rectify that. But anyway, a few mail items and one big mail item. This year's Tier 1, they did some of the veterans to 200 bad pieces just to fill the product up, I guess. That's nice. It's a pretty card. They did a dual relic bat card to 25. Same thing, just dual relic on that. And then from the Tier 1, I got the base to 30. It's a very nice card this year for Johnny. And I got the short print to 10. I guess you call it the red version, or ruby. I'm not for sure. It's a silver ink's all I know. And it's beautiful ink. I love the silver. It seems to do better than the gold pens on these cards. But I got that for a daggone good price too. I've got the 1 of 1 actually coming. I bought it just a couple days ago, and it's in the mail. I'll show that on my next video. And the monster I got for just in mail day was, and the guy robbed me on this card. I mean, I had to pay a lot more than I wanted to, but this is out 2008 Sterling. I did the 2006 video. I'm going to do a 2008. The 2008 had probably twice as many cards as the 6 did. There's 21, I think, different autographs for bench on different cards in the set. And this was the last one I needed. And I've literally been waiting 9 years to see this card pop up on eBay, and it finally did. I think the guy's a pretty big Reds collector and bench collector. It's finally letting some stuff go, so I'm trying to find out what else he's got. But this is our 2008 Top Sterling, numbered 5 out of 10. Yeah, jersey number, woo. But it's completely different looking than every other card of the other relic cards like this. So I don't know if it's the only one that's got that picture, and every other one's got 3 or 4 different styles, similar styles to each card. So I don't know if this is just hard to find or what it is. It's numbered to 10 though, but that completes the autographs for the 2008 Sterling. So that's a big card for me. Now, getting on to the National, I got there Wednesday, saw a bunch of guys before I even got to the show. Dan and Derek and Garrett and Everett. We were at the top signing. Ben, a whole bunch of guys. I'm going to miss some names, I know. But we got a Canseco autograph for Derek. I was glad to do that. Those guys they're just wonderful guys. And Garrett, I'll tell you more about here in a bit. It was great to talk to them. I went to the show. There's 3 cards I need for Hank that I really wanted. One of them I wanted to find. One's a mega rare card that I found, and the guy actually had two of them. One in a lesser condition and one in a very nice condition. And it about floored me that he had both of them, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Got to see RBI crew, Ryan, Neil, Magdor, the whole bunch. Great guys. That seemed to be party central as far as at the National. All the guys kind of use that as a base to get around. Then Wednesday night we went to the Mexican restaurant, and I got to talk a lot to Everett and Joey and Garrett. And we went back, Mike Fabian, Stoddy, and on and on and on. There's just everybody, it seemed like everybody showed up at the restaurant for a while. And we went back to the hotel room with one of the guys. And we sat and talked. While I was there, Derek gave me out of the Topps National Pack. Bench had a card this year. And he just handed that to me, which is very cool. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate that. And Garrett was there, and he had told me that he was going to do this, and I didn't know what to expect. And he gave me this, and it is just incredible. It's an original artwork by a friend of his. And I had Johnny sign it. I went Thursday morning to see Bench. Second time I've seen him. And he signed it. Let me show it to you. He was so impressed. Over the years, he's been retired since '84, so 30-some years. And he's probably signed tons of artwork. This is original artwork the guy did for Garrett, and he gave it to me, which is incredible. Garrett, I can't thank you enough. You're an incredible guy. I knew you would be. In your videos, you're just so genuine, so nice. And he just handed this to me like it was nothing. But Johnny was so impressed when I went to get it autographed that he asked who the artist was, and when I didn't know for sure, he had the lady that works for his enterprises give me his card, because he wants the artist to make some of these for his kids and grandkids, and that's what he told me personally, and that just blew me away. Now, Garrett said that his friend has done some major work for a lot of big names, so I guess he's probably used to it, but this guy is good. But anyway, enough talk, I'll show it. It's probably about 11 by 14. Garrett... I can't believe you did this, Gary. That's just incredible. And like I said, Johnny was so taken by it, he wants your friend to do more work for him. I think that's incredible. So that guide signed. Looks fantastic. Don't know how I'm going to frame it yet, but I will. As I told you all at the show, I don't put a lot of stuff on the wall just because I don't have much wall space anymore, and I don't want to seem too crazy when it comes to collecting bench. I try to be a little subdued with that kind of stuff. But that's too nice not to put on the wall. And also, Thursday morning when I went to see Johnny, I had a glove. An interesting little story. This is a Rawlings HOHX, the same model on his 1969 Topps card. In fact, the picture you see of him with his glove, that's the image off of the 69 card. He's wearing this model glove, and I asked him to sign it, and I asked him, I said, I know in your early years this is the model you used, and he said, when I gave him the glove, he kind of grimaced a tad bit, and I was wondering, did I say something wrong, or what was going on? And he told me that he wore this glove twice when he got his thumb broken, and he stopped using it after that because I'll show you the glove. And he inscribed it 10 times gold glove. I let him pick the inscription. I told him, he asked me what inscription I wanted. I said, go ahead and whatever you want to put on it. And he was a 10-time gold glove winner in a row from 68 to 77. It came out beautiful. But he broke his thumb in 66 when he was with the Buffalo Bisons, and he split it open again in '67 when he was up with the Reds in the fall of '67. And what happened was he loved this glove. He used it for a few years when he was young. I mean, right out of college or high school and everything. And if you notice, this is an old saucer type glove. And Randy Hundley for the Cubs had started using a newer model that had a kind of a split kind of here, so it'd be easier. They call it a fast back, I think, where you could close the glove quicker because it wasn't all padding in here. There was a spot where the glove could actually fold. And Bench had such big hands, he could actually catch with the one hand instead of the old-fashioned two-can method. And he started putting his hand behind his back to protect his thumb from getting injured. Which, when he used this model, he had to have his hand in front of him to help catch. And that's why he switched from this glove. And he kind of grimaced because he was using this glove when he broke his thumb twice. So, but still, it evoked an emotion from him, which was kind of cool. That he told me the story, and that was really cool too. So, second time I met Bench, I met him in 2013, my first national. This is my fourth. He's usually there on Sundays, and I'm gone by Sunday, and this time he was there on Thursday. So, two incredible pieces. One of them from Garrett, which I will thank you 1,000 times for that, because that was just so cool. Thursday, then Brian came in Thursday afternoon. Brian's my buddy, collects Hank Greenberg. When we were talking to people at parties, I thought it was interesting because if you're a player collector or a super collector or just a player collector, everybody seems to know who their rivals are on eBay. Like, I talked to Nate, and he was talking about other bonds collectors and whatever you collect. There's other guys on eBay that you go up against all the time. And a few years ago, it was me and Brian were fighting. We were always bidding on Greenberg cards because Bench is my main PC, but I guess I'm kind of a Hank Greenberg mini super collector, I guess you'd say. It's just that his stuff's so expensive and it's older, so I'm kind of more of a type collector with him. I want to get one of everything as far as it's obtainable. Anyway, Brian came in. My wife couldn't make it to the Nationals this year, so I decided to, we just share the room, and it worked out great. Like I said, a few years ago we were bidding against each other, and I thought, well, why should we? I kind of started a little chit chat with him, and we became really good friends. And now we're, when we see each other, as we always see each other twice, both at Nationals, we spent the whole time together and had a blast. And now we help each other with collecting Greenberg. I'll give up something for him. He'll give up something for me, and as long as we make sure each one of us gets what we're looking for, it works out really well. So, if anybody out there that's competing with some other guys, I'd suggest becoming friends with them, and you'll get a lot more accomplished with your collecting goals than if you just try to outbid them every time, because that just hurts both of you in the long run. But anyway, Brian and I were together Thursday and Friday looking around. Thursday nights we went to the party. Well, it was at the bar at the Doubletree where they all saw Paul Hornung, and Joey's already told that story really well, getting an autograph. And Bobby Knight came in. Didn't know how big Bobby Knight, the old coach for Indiana basketball. He's a big guy. He's pretty tall and still pretty imposing looking to be in his probably 70s. That's cool to see him. And no, he didn't throw any chairs that I know of, but we weren't there all night. And you've seen the stories with the other players. It's just crazy the people that came and went. They were signing at the show and stayed at that hotel. But it was just so nice to see. I saw Stotty and Mickey, and I can't remember all the names. Meeting Nate and Aaron. It was great meeting you two all. We talked about that Bonds card before he went and bought it the next day. That was fun. Debating how much it should be. And we finally decided that the price he paid was fair. I thought it was very fair, considering how popular he is. And there's only 2 of those bat knobs out there, he said, so that's just a no-brainer to me. And then Friday morning, I got to talk to, when I was getting ready to leave, I saw Michael and Chris. And we talked for a little bit. I didn't get to talk to everybody like I wanted to, but it was a blast. And I need another week just to get to Bradley. Well, I'll show you this. He just handed this to me. It's unbelievable. I didn't have this. This is the ultimate signature MVPs of Joe Morgan and Johnny Bench. And it just happened to be Beckett Slab 9.5. Beautiful card. Gorgeous card. Bradley's is a really nice guy. Nice to meet you, Bradley. I really enjoyed talking to you. From one super collector to another, it's a whole different being from the set collectors. We discussed that, and we all got the same goal of getting cards. It's just we all have a different way of going about it. But I really enjoyed talking to you, Bradley. That was a blast. Joey, two traditions I've come up with over the last 4 or 5 years is one, looking at Joey's football Hall of Fame set. He was real sneaky this time. He gave me the box and I started flipping through it, and all of a sudden this card was stuck in between them. And this is a 2016 Topps Archive Signature Series 1 of 1 for Johnny Bench, from one of the golden moments from one of the earlier Topps Series 1s, maybe, I think, from a few years ago. Beautiful autograph, encased, 1 of 1, stamped by Topps. Joey, you couldn't have done that. I just had a blast talking to you too. It's always good to see you. And I didn't know what to do. I kind of flipped through. I was looking through this Hall of Fame cards because I've done that last time I was there and saw him. And this was in there, and I'm not for sure if I'm supposed to see this or not. Now, his intent, he told me later on, was I'd say, "What's this?" and be shocked. And said I was shocked, but I didn't know if I was supposed to see it, so I kind of played it off and kept going through the cards. And then he asked me if I saw it or not, and I said yes. And then he told me he was giving it to me because I didn't want to assume anything or anything like that. But Joey, it's beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much. So those were the 3 gift cards and the artwork that Garrett gave me. I'm sure I'm going to leave people out going like I am, kind of hodgepodge here, but just sitting there chit-chatting Thursday night was fantastic. Me and Brian walking around the show. We went to SGC to get some stuff graded. You've seen these before. I got 2 of them at SGC. I took them out of PSA holders and put them in the SGC Authentic. This is the baseball highlights that I showed not too long ago, and I got it taken out of the PSA. You can see the green Hank Greenberg autograph in there, which is awesome. I know modern collectors use Beckett and PSA, but for the older stuff and for my bench, I love the SGC. The black frame just makes those cards pop like crazy, especially in person. I got this out of a PSA holder. This is a 1940 play ball original card, and it was hand signed by Hank, probably in the 50s or 60s. Probably 60s, I would guess, or 70s maybe. And I've showed this before too, but it's a beautiful card. Come on. It is signed in the bottom in black ink, which is a little hard to see. But these original cards that are signed by Hank are hard to find. And that just looks fantastic in that holder. Let's see, Friday nights, we went back to the hotel. We sat and talked to Everett for a long time. You got him to see throw back a fireball, which I had to see at least one fireball shot from him before the night was over. And I even chatted Patriots football with him, which was kind of weird, being a long-suffering Vikings fan. I guess I was nice to talk to somebody who has a football team that wins, regardless of how they do it. But I want to thank Brian especially before I forget. We spent Thursday and Friday looking around. There wasn't a lot of bench stuff. I mean, even as far as modern stuff. He found this one for me. I'll show it now. It was in a case with a bunch of like Babe Ruth cuts and stuff like this, Walter Johnson, and just some crazy stuff. This has actually been online for twice the price, and this is a Topps Triple Threads Legends card from like 2010, I think. Anyway, I saw this card online. Now, I've got the version to 18 in my collection, and it's just white, gray, and white, and that's typical for bench stuff. And that's numbered to 18. Now, I've seen the number to 3, and it's pretty much the same. So when this one came up online at a high price, 16 out of 27, I'm a little skeptical because it's got Rawlings patches in it. And you want to see something like that up close. So I was hoping it would pop up at the National because I wanted to take a look at it. Well, while we're looking at all these cards, and this is the table Bob and his guys were looking at, because they had like a whole case of Jordan rookies. If anybody else saw that case, it was right next to that one. And I wanted to look at the card to see if there had been any tampering to it. So I was like looking at the sides, I was looking at the front to see if they tried to open the little windows up to get the white patch out and squeeze this in. But it looks fantastic. No tampering. So I guess Topps people, I guess I know Panini does it sometimes too, and they're snipping up something. I think half the time they don't care if it's a nice patch or laundry tag like this. I don't think they ever think of, we'll save that for the one-on-one usually. I think sometimes they do, and sometimes it's just the next card just gets those pieces. But anyway, it's 16 out of 27, and it's a Rawlings patch. One side you can see the end of Rawlings on the back end of it. And then the other side's got the sizing on it. He wore a 40-something. I'm thinking of 44, but I'm not for sure. So it's just an incredible card. For bench, these are almost non-existent, these type of patches. And the windows look like they haven't been messed with. It's MVP in 70 and 72. Just a beautiful card. And thank you, Brian, for helping me find it, because I'd probably overlooked it. But what's weird is he had it half the price he had it on eBay. Half the price. And then he took off more when I asked him, so I was very happy with the price I paid for that. But Brian and I had a blast together. We looked for Greenberg. We saw some Greenberg stuff. It's weird. We might have saw 10 Greenberg pieces in all the cases. I bet I saw over a dozen Babe Ruth cut auto pieces, over a dozen, easily. One guy had probably close to 10, maybe 8 to 10 himself. And another guy had 3 or 4. So there's at least a dozen and maybe a couple more scattered out through the show. So I don't know where all the modern bench is. I know I got a lot of it, but not that much of it. So it's kind of weird. But we just had a blast. And I'll save the last card here. First day I was there, I was looking, I said earlier, this is one of the cards I was looking for. It's been on eBay a few times over the last year or two. I've been outbid on it every time. And I said, I'm going to try to get one at the National. And one of the first dealers I went to, I saw a bunch of these, they call them Canadian Gaudies, or they're worldwide gum Canadian cards. And this guy had probably, 40 or 50, I would guess. And I said, do you have a Greenberg? Because a lot of times that's sold, and the more common ones are the ones you see left over. And he goes, I think I got 2, and I was about passed out right at that point. Now, he had 2. One was lower grade. This one's kind of, for the card, it's very solid grade. And he wanted a bunch of money for this and the other one. And I debated a long time. You can ask Brian which one I was going to buy, because there's about a $400 difference in price between this one and the other one. And I was wondering if I could live with the lower grade, but they both advised me to go with the bigger one, so I did. And this is it. This is the 1936 Worldwide Gum Hank Greenberg. It's a SGC. Well, I was in a PSA case, and I immediately took it over to SGC. One note too about that before I show it: if you ever get things cross-graded, don't look at population reports with any certainty at all, because if people cross over cards from PSA to Beckett or Beckett to PSA or PSA to SGC, they don't notify each other that a card's been taken out of one of their slabs and put into another company's slabs. Which I always thought would be kind of like they probably would, just to keep these records updated, but they don't. So when you look at population reports on PSA, I guess Beckett does the same thing. Take it with a grain of salt, because if any card's ever been cracked out, or if any card's ever been crossed over to a different company, they don't take it off their list. So there's probably fewer of these cards than you think out there. But anyway, this is that card. And it's only a 40, which is a VG, which is like a PSA 3. But this is really a very hard to find card. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a 50 or above. At least not in a long time. I'm sure there's a few out there, but it looks great. I mean, there's no creases. It's just fuzzy corners and just a little wear and tear on it. But it's a beautiful car. I love the vintage, and I love them in these holders. It looks great in this I mean, it looked okay in the PSA, but it looks great in these SGC holders. So this is a big monster for me. I just need 2 more standard vintage for Greenberg. I'll have them all. Brian's already got all of them, so he's way ahead of me there. But I'm working on it. But I think that's everything. Again, just to wrap this up, had a great time. Brian, I'm so glad we became friends. It's just really, really been fantastic, especially when we go looking around with the show. We just talk, and we've seen each other twice. We've chatted a lot, but on Facebook and stuff like that. But we just chatted away all day long. Wish I'd said more time. Wish I had Friday night or Saturday night and Sunday to see everybody. Maybe next year in Cleveland, Lord willing, we'll get to do that. But all you guys, I hope I mentioned it. Oh, Mike Phillips, I almost forgot you. We were talking about being a tradition, looking at Joey's Hall of Fame set. Looking at your Clay Matthews collection is I love it. And it's just amazing. I think I last looked at it 2 years ago. And I enjoyed every second of looking through those boxes of the new acquisitions and revisiting the older ones. I know you don't like being called a super collector, but your cards are amazing. You have one of the best collections I've seen. Bradley, I know you probably have just as good, and there's a lot about you out there. Michael's Vlad collection. There's so many guys that's got so many good cards. It's just, I watch these videos and it just amazes me what people are buying. But Michael, I really enjoy looking through those Clay cards. Thank you for bringing them again. I know it's a big suitcase to lug around just to let a few people look at the cards. But I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy it. And I hope you'll bring them to, if I get to go to Cleveland, I hope you'll bring them again. I'd love to look through them. Joey, thank you for sharing yours also, and for that bench hookup. I really appreciate that. Bradley, thank you for that bench card, Morgan card. Derek, great to see you. Thank you for that bench card. Garrett, I can't thank you enough for the artwork. It's beautiful. I love it. Can't wait to get it framed. Figure out what I'm going to do with that. All you other guys, and I'm sure I've been rambling. I don't remember everybody I've mentioned or haven't mentioned, but man, I think the world of all of you, and I really enjoy your company, and I can't wait till we do it again. I'm trying to remember if anybody I've left off, but if I did, I apologize. Man, I'm sorry, but just overwhelming. And I've heard from a couple others, I had to go right back to work Sunday and Monday, and then I finally got off today to do this video. So it's just, I could do it again next week if they would do it. I'd love it. But anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody I talked to. Like I said, this is a great bunch of Brett. I almost forgot Brett. I got to talk to him a bit. Nice talking to you. I know I'm forgetting some people, but again, thanks for everything. Thanks for a great trip. Just really enjoyed. Brian, thanks for all. Enjoyed spending time with you. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.